Today I have with me Miss Dale Bozzio, the lead singer of Missing Persons, of course, the pioneering new wave band that influenced so many artists that we hear today. Dale has worked with Frank Zappa, Beatles engineer and super producer Ken Scott, Prince, many others, so many others throughout her career. She has just published her autobiography that tells us about her journey through life and music, called Life is So Strange, Missing Persons, Frank Zappa, Prince, and Beyond. And Dale, again, it is such an honor to have you here.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that, really.
Yeah.
Really, we need people like you, the mediators, so the listeners can know what's happening, right? Without you,
Yeah.
so thank you.
Oh, you are very welcome. Absolutely. And, I get this book and it is just gorgeous. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. The paper is heavy stock. There's hundreds of photos. Your beautiful face right on the cover there, that iconic portrait. Glenn Wexler, of course, being a photographer, he's a hero of mine, as well. Just all this whole package with the 7-inch vinyl in the back. It's just a crazy package. Were you in control of all of the elements that went into this package?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Wow.
But Cleopatra, they finally designed this for me. And they came up with the idea to put the record in the back. But this is a true story of mine, and I love the photo work and all of how it was been arranged. My son Shane, both my son Shane and Troy helped me with the book, and of course Keith Alcourt. And but it's in my words mostly, and I feel that I was talking to you more than making up a story.
Yeah, and I felt that way. I feel, it sounds funny, but I felt like I was sitting next to you. It was,
That's good, then it works.
it was wonderful. Absolutely. And I really,
thank you.
and I felt like there was so much emotion to be had here. There is, a real darkness to this book, but there is also a huge light and positivity as well. Your journey has been just that, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You put the finger on the trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been it's been odd, it has been odd until I really grew up and looked back.
Yeah.
And could see that how odd it was.
Yeah.
I know in this modern day, people look closely on what's going on with children and people more so, and even grown women now.
Right.
So it would have been different.
Yeah.
But the 50s was the 50s, so
right.
A lot of things, stayed unsaid, and you didn't talk about it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I went through. And then my brother, being like almost 10 years, 9 years older than me, he came up in a whole nother decade. So I was exposed to that level of what he saw, which was even more old-fashioned.
Right.
And then my father was born in 1910, so he'd be rather old by now. And I just don't really know what happened to him as a child, but I think things did. I just don't even want to go there. It was so just back in the times when no one talked about anything.
Yeah.
And then when I got left with my dad, I thought it was normal. I just thought that was a normal thing, that I was a young girl living with her only father.
Yeah.
There was no one else there. My brother was in jail.
Right.
For the whole 10 years of me growing up, he was in jail, and I had to go visit him. And then, so I didn't really have any forefront of someone helping me.
Yeah.
On my level, where I was thinking. I mean, my father obviously didn't think like me,
Right.
and there wasn't anybody as small to relate to then.
Mm-hmm.
So I really had to come through the dark my own self to see what would be better for me. And, I talk about myself sometimes in the third person because I think like that about that girl, Dale.
Right.
I think that poor little girl and how she tried and strived so hard to
Yeah.
be noticed and to be reckoned with. And yeah, I feel it's still, I'll never lose that if it doesn't go
Right.
away. And I
Right.
don't think any of the harm that people kind of suffer, I don't think that ever goes away. I think that we harbor those hurt moments
Yeah.
worse than the psychiatrists say. Psychiatrist says the we harbor the worst treacherous moments in
Hmm.
our life than we do the happy moments.
Yeah. It does seem that
Because
way. Yeah.
they're so happy, why do we have to worry about them?
Right.
They disappear and disperse. And okay, so happy is happy, but sad,
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
somebody had asked me about coming up. One of the younger kids that I know asked me what I remember about the time when I was his age in my 20s, and I'm 53 now, and I could only come up with negative things. It's the only things I could remember. I some positive things, but the things that really mark a time were the negative things, and that's unfortunate.
Yeah, well, that's why the news is so popular.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, they try to put in these happy moments and everybody's laughing and you got the beautiful girls and it all goes down. But on the dime, it's all about despair.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
I'm not looking to watch the news to see who's eating an apple.
right.
Right? I'm looking
Exactly.
to see what trouble's coming my way.
That is exactly it. That is
Yeah,
exactly it.
so
Um,
I tried to cover up the parts in the book that are about what I wanted everybody to know. That's
yeah,
it. There's
yeah,
lots of other mysteries, of course. I didn't have time enough. It would take me a big fat book to tell you all that. But it's not hard for me to remember all the things that have happened to me. And I just
hmm,
got together with Keith Valcourt, and he just kind of stirred me in the right direction. And I just told the story. And
yeah,
I hope I break the mold. I hope it's not, just rhetoric. And and when anyone does read it, like you get the
hmm,
message.
yeah, yeah. And like I say, I mean, I feel like you were holding my hand through it, and it was really it was an adventure, to say the very least. Your life has been one that's really, really been an adventure. Um, Let me ask you first. There are a lot of people mentioned in this book. A lot of people that you've loved and lost, and are still around. Is was any
Yeah,
was anyone upset with you? Have you received any
I
calls or?
haven't. I had a good question, Dave. They haven't called me yet.
Okay. Well, you don't. I don't think you really. You don't throw too many people under the bus. You're just telling the truth. I
Yeah,
didn't.
yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't hurtful.
Yeah, no, it wasn't hurtful, and they didn't really. They don't belong under the bus because they're all good.
Hmm.
I lost them. I don't think they care that they lost me. you know. So that's what I find kind of funny about it. And I think I really the book made me laugh. It made me laugh hysterically. It made me cry. It made
Hmm.
me feel bad. It made me feel
Yeah.
proud. And
Yep.
I'm the one that wrote it, and it's all about me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be prejudiced or anything,
Yeah.
but I am really, proud of myself because I never knew how hard it was to
Oh.
write and say all these things about yourself. And really, it was kind of like going to confession,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
you
and
know?
that
Like,
that, that
that's
is
what it was.
that is
Like,
a
I had to put my cards on the table, and if I wasn't going to really do it the right 100%, then what the fuck was I doing it for?
yeah. Yeah. That's and you
Right?
do and it, like you
Because
say.
I mean that's my attitude with people in general. If you
Uh,
don't do it 100%, then don't even talk to me
yeah.
because I can't deal with you.
Yep. Uh,
Life is too fragile. It's too screwed up, and there's not enough rights for the wrongs. So
yeah.
if you're not going to do everything I need to get done I'll do it myself.
There you go. And that's spoken like a true Italian Boston
Roman.
young lady.
That's right. A Boston girl.
Hell
That's
yeah.
it. Absolutely. I thrive on that. I believe in Boston, and I believe in my little town of Medford, which was just
Yeah.
it molded me for life. It was a city in itself,
Yeah.
and don't underestimate anybody. And if you go on the notable list for Medford, Massachusetts, they state me, they state the Black Dahlia. They have like
Yeah.
coaches on there, pitches. It's the people from Medford that are unbelievable. And I went, you know why? Because then I think back and I think about the town and the availability of all the things you really needed to profess your life, to
Yeah.
make your life a better place. It was right there, and right in front of your face.
Yeah.
If you did it, and isn't that such the story as we go? And we say, "Oh, my town is so little. Oh, I can't make it here." Oh, please.
Yeah.
If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere.
There you
That's the
go.
key factor. Maybe you just don't want to do other things. That's okay, too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
okay, too. We need you. We need the consumer. We need the TV watcher. We need the pasta maker. That's me.
Yeah.
I do those things.
Yeah.
I'm not any different than everybody else that's trying to make it through the day,
Yeah.
And so that's the thing about writing a book. It's so difficult because then you're going to slam past yourself right back into the past and,
Right.
oh, my God, you're going to confess and go to the priest and, yeah. It's brutal. But I did it. And I'm so glad that I did it. I got it, like, off my back.
And I am.
It's kind of a weird, it's a weird thing. Like, I hate to say, like, off my back, but it's like
Right.
making a record. Like, you make the commitment, right?
Yeah.
In anything. You make a commitment, you're going to play the game, you're going to play the baseball game, you're going to sail the ship, whatever it is you're going to do. When
Right.
you do it, you go, oh, wow, thank God I did it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a relief, right? And then it's a good relief, good and bad, whatever, who knows what happens, but you did it. You took the chance.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I guess, in the past, I used to be the person who broke all the rules. Terry Bozzio said that about the first thing he ever said. You break all the rules. I go, yep, absolutely. I'm a rule breaker, babe. All right. What are we doing tonight?
I love it. I love it.
But I'm not scary.
You are the sweetest person. I've did my research and I've read interviews, watched interviews, and seen you, back in the day, and there's just you're just so sweet, and I appreciate you.
Thank you. You're so nice. Thanks.
Is
You're
there
so nice.
is there anything in the book that you were hesitant to include? Anything that you wrote it down and said maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't about Prince. That's
Okay.
what I thought.
Okay.
I think that he's such a powerhouse. I thought to myself, oh, I wonder if anyone's going to call me
Yeah.
and say, like, I think you should be quiet. but nobody has. Nobody, but I don't think enough people have read the book yet. So we'll just wait a little longer.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I don't know. I read it and I think it's very intimate and it's very personal, but I don't think it's anything that we didn't have a clue about anyway. Prince, an odd fellow, a very quiet, personal, introverted guy. And, I think you summed it up in the book by saying he was not a real live boy, in the book and the Fired, chapter. And I think, that kind of sums it up. It was a fantasy world kind of, that whole, the world that Prince lived in, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I think I should have asked him if he liked cartoons. I should have asked him, like, what's your favorite movie? Like I didn't ask him the things that are really impertinent to your life. If you grew up on Archie, reading Archie comics, or if you grew up with Batman, you've got a different attitude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I used to, it's different. It's different for everybody. Different strokes for different folks,
Hmm.
right? Some kids grow up and read all the rock magazines. Some girls read all the girly magazines. I mean, it's so abstract, and
Yeah.
I don't know what really. I just don't. I don't know what
Yeah.
spun him. I
Yeah.
can't tell you. I just can't tell you. And
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with people. I'm really good, and especially with geniuses. It
Yeah.
seems I get along with quite a few. Terry Bozzio, genius.
Yes. Yeah.
Warren Cucurullo, genius.
Yeah.
Frank Zappa, genius.
Yes.
Chuck Wild, genius.
Yeah.
Patrick O'Hearn, genius. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Peter Max, genius.
Oh yeah.
Ken Scott, genius.
Yeah.
The list goes on. Helmut Newton,
Yep.
these are genius
Yes.
people.
Oh,
They're
absolutely.
genius people. They
Uh,
they are they are a part of their own caliber, and
yeah.
not to be broken. They're all the stature of themselves. So
And
when you venture into those people, you have to be your own self, delicate. It's a
yeah.
delicate situation.
Yeah.
And so, I noticed a lot of people came and went through his life. And
Hmm.
only a few special, very beautiful girls could last the test of time. There's a
Yeah.
few of them that did.
Yeah.
And I know because they cared, because they had a heart.
Right.
If you didn't have a heart, he wasn't for you.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure, because he was so deep and yet so surface. I say to myself, like, I'd stand in the room with him, and people would be like almost afraid. They would be afraid,
Yeah.
and you could hear them breathing. They would
Yeah.
hold their breath, like, I mean, they really stood to attention. And I would think to myself, if they only knew how afraid he was,
Right.
if they if they only knew
Right.
how delicate he was and
Hmm.
how precious of a human being. I
Yeah.
mean, he had how many 5,000 pairs of shoes or something? The same shoe with the same heel with the same height.
But
He couldn't be seen in his bare feet.
yeah.
And
Wow.
the same with me. I never saw him in his bare feet. I was thinking, what's wrong with his feet?
Wow.
I don't know. I never saw his feet.
Wow. That's insane.
That's my question. Who has seen his feet?
There you go. Oh, wow.
He
Uh,
was an odd guy, though. I got to tell you,
yeah.
one day he said to me, "What is that cologne you're wearing?" And I said, "It's Obsession by Calvin Klein." It was just you know, not a very expensive cologne at the time, but new on the market, and it was kind of vanilla-y,
Right.
and it made me smell like vanilla. And he said, I love it. I just love it so much. I said, well, thank you. And the next time I came over was a few days later. I went to go into the ladies' room. He said, I had put a few things in the ladies' room there for you. And I went to open the door. I could barely open the door. I couldn't believe it. We'll talk about excess. The bathroom was filled with Obsession by Calvin Klein. I thought I was seeing things. I tried to open the door a little more. He left like this 2-bit little space for me to walk through to the bathtub that was full with like rose petals
Wow.
and Obsession cologne and Obsession shampoo and whatever it was, but powder and
Uh,
this. I'm like, oh my god, really? This is the way he thinks?
yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
could barely get in anyway. I reach in, I take a box. I see it's the cologne. I walk up. I just shut the door. I'm thinking to myself, this is absurd. I mean, why
Right.
did you have to pack them all in the bathroom, though? Like, what about, I mean, really, like, if you're really going to stay there and go in the bathroom, how are you going to get in and out of the bathroom? I mean, that's the way I think. I think constructively. I think
Yeah.
about how you build a house. You pour the cement,
Right.
and you build it from the platform, you build it up, right? That's how I think, because I grew up with my father being a builder. But the
Yeah.
thing was, I came on and I had one box, and he said, should I get a truck over here to get the truck filled up, take them to wherever you want to put all the cologne? I said,
Wow.
no. I'm taking one bottle. Here it is. One bottle is all I need. And I love you for it. I love you for it so much. You
Uh,
hold all that here for me, okay? So I know where it is when I need it.
yeah.
He just looked at me confounded, as Einstein stepped in, like the mystery. What was so hard to understand? But that's
Yeah.
how he was.
Yeah.
I don't know how he did all the things he did, being so fragile.
Right. Right.
I don't know how he got through the day.
Yeah.
To tell you the truth. And then the bad things that happened to him, he was intolerable. You couldn't console him. He's
right.
unconsolable.
Yeah.
You couldn't touch him. He was untouchable. I
Yeah.
don't know if you thought about that. He was having a lot of good times, but he was untouchable.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing all the things that people thought. He
Yeah.
was not a slut and a whore and all that.
Right.
Not at all.
Right.
I think he was a complete gentleman. Had a very bad anger problem, for sure. He
Yeah.
had a rage problem that
Right.
ended a lot of his relationships, for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. It
But
seemed like a
fragile all day long, and a gentleman.
right. Yeah. He seemed like a tortured soul a bit. Really, lonely in his power and fame.
I mean, listen, every man knows how a man thinks, right? I am a woman. I can't do that. I can't think like a man. And so I can never go there. I have two
Right.
fine sons, but I
Yes.
can't think like a man. As much as
No.
hard as I try. So, I mean, if women could, how many men would we have,
Yeah.
right? And
I'm.
we'd have you all by the tail.
Yeah.
So it's a little tricky, It's a tricky situation.
It
And he was a
is.
tricky guy.
It
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
for
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
You know,
Yeah.
but we don't want to hurt him in any way because people love him.
Right.
And we need his music, and we need to keep the relics and the ones we care for safe.
Yeah. 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 Absolutely. Um, Frank Zappa. This book. Of course, a huge part of your life. Just a gigantic part of your life, and it comes through in this book. It is an homage to him. It meeting
Oh, good. I'm glad you see it that way.
it really it all begins. I look back and I think February 10th, 1976. You pack your car, you head out to Hollywood to be a movie star, and you're shunned by Hefner. Then you go meet
Right,
Frank, on
right,
on a chance, um,
right.
and then your entire career starts. And I think that day is the reason we're talking today. The reason we know Dale Bozzio, isn't it? Right?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know what? You're dead on right because Hefner embarrassed me that day. He hurt
Yeah.
my feelings and he embarrassed me, and I never got to tell him. And I went back to his grave where he's buried here in Westwood. He's at the same grave where Frank Zappa is.
Oh.
And Frank's buried by the oak tree in an unmarked grave. And Hefner is buried next to Marilyn Monroe in the vault. They're one each next to each other. And
Okay.
do you know that Hugh Hefner, as far as I know, never met Marilyn Monroe? He bought her photographs and started a magazine. He became a successful icon.
All
So he
right.
said he was going to live next to her for the rest of his life in the uh, uh, vault.
Wow. Wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
and that's his story. That's
amazing.
his story.
Amazing.
Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
he doesn't speak to you, and he just basically shunned you. You went and heard Zappa, and introduced yourself once again. Who you had met 4 years earlier by sneaking into one of his shows, and he remembered you.
Right,
That's
right.
that is
Yeah,
insane. And then of course he takes you under his wing. He teaches you the business, really, puts you on an album, um, and he encourages the beginning of Missing Persons.
that's right. That's
Yeah,
right. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah.
Thank you, Frank. Uh, we miss
Absolutely.
we
Yeah.
miss him. Ever, I think the world misses Frank Zappa so much.
Yeah, I love Frank so much, and I know a lot of people love Frank so much, and we forget that he gave his stage to so many of us musicians. He shared his fame and fortune with all of us, and the people that worked with him. He gave to us. I was on the payroll with Frank. Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
I mean, including dental.
yeah,
you know,
uh,
he took care of me and he insured me. After I fell out that window, he felt so bad for me, and
yeah.
he took care of me and made sure that I had a job. And it breaks my heart. It breaks my
Yeah,
heart that he had to die so young, and he
yeah,
has four brilliant children. That it breaks my heart that they can't be with him and
yeah,
then spend time with just being with Frank.
yeah.
Um, he's not my father, but I feel he is.
Right.
He's maybe the mother of invention, but he's father of my invention for sure. And
That's sweet.
I genuinely feel to Frank. I love him with all my heart, and
Yeah,
he's why I do what I do.
yeah,
That's it. I can't. I couldn't. I would never be who I am. Never in a million years.
yeah.
Wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
No.
it is so sweet to read and to hear that, and it comes through big time in the book. And that's really the key. What I took away from the book when I would close the back cover, I said this Frank would be so proud. That it's just great.
Thank you very much. That
Yeah,
makes me cry.
I'm so sorry.
I think the same thing.
Yeah,
I think Frank would be so proud of me that I carry his torch.
yeah,
Because he said to me one day, he said, those two guys are going to get so jealous of you,
yeah,
and you're going to have to replace them. You're
yeah,
going to have to go on because you're going to be the voice of this. And
yeah,
you have to take care of yourself. And
yeah,
I believed him.
yeah,
I believed in him and everything he said because so many times I came to like a crossroad, I
right,
mean, as musicians do, they come to such crossroads in their
yeah,
lives. And if you can avoid drinking yourself to drunkism or taking drugs to die, if
yeah,
you can get over that and not commit suicide, then maybe you can hang on a little longer because such a rocky road life. No, everybody thinks it's all la-di-da because we're singing the songs and partying down and
right,
the party's over, babe.
yeah,
We are all alone.
yeah,
All alone.
yeah,
Even in a room full of people. I saw it happen to Prince. I
yeah,
saw him fade away. This fade out.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is a rough lifestyle, and you have done amazing things. You're so courageous in what has happened to you, and the way you persevere is just it's inspiring, to say the least. Um,
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much for noting these
yeah,
things.
absolutely.
I'm going to be 67 on March 2nd, and it
Yeah,
feels pretty amazing, to be able to talk to all of you and talk to you to ask me these things and to be part of the future because I'm a lucky girl. I'm very lucky to
yeah,
have all these opportunities for me and live long enough to talk about it.
yeah, absolutely.
Really, you know. And
I've
without you and people like you to tell our stories and make note and think of us all,
mhm.
we wouldn't even, no one would remember us. So
Oh,
thank you for all you do to
uh,
keep us happening and alive and, including Frank and Prince. I mean, who
yeah.
would think that they would be passed away now and we would be talking like this?
Right, right.
Right?
It is a
It's hard
pleasure.
to digest.
Yeah, yeah. It is a pleasure. It is a pleasure. Tell me if you could sit down with any living person and have a chat, and a cup of coffee and a chat with anybody living today. Who would that be?
Oh, Warren Cucurullo.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
waiting. I'm waiting till he wants to talk to me.
Yeah.
I love him so much with all my heart,
Yeah.
and I think he's mad at me. So that's
Yeah.
all. I
Yeah.
want to talk to Warren.
Well,
That's all.
that would be great. We would all love to see that for sure. Now you came to Hollywood to be a movie star. There was a movie, Missing Persons was in, of course, with Lunch Wagon. Um, uh, I've heard you say that you'd still like to do a movie. Is it, what kind of film would you like to do if you could do another film?
I don't know anymore because I'm changing my mind daily.
Hmm.
I'm thinking now, instead of being like a movie star, I want to make a movie. I want to
Oh,
make a movie of my book. That's what I want to do.
there
And I
you
want to make a
go.
movie about all these rock and roll episodes and the morphing, the other, I did so many other things and adventures with Frank Zappa.
Hmm.
I just want to tell my story, maybe narrate the movie more so than be in it,
All
and
right.
make it like kind of like a tell-all movie.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great, Dale. That's that's just great. Um,
And then so I'm going to work on the soundtrack. I'm going to work on like making soundtrack movie, movie music.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome. That is
yeah,
great.
why not, right? I mean, listen,
Absolutely.
the line goes like this: "Reach for the moon, fall short to the stars."
Ah,
That's all,
there you go.
right?
Absolutely. I love that. That's great.
Yeah, that's all. That's
That
all.
is
It's all
great.
good. It's all good. As long as you try a little every single day, your
Yeah.
dreams come true.
Yeah.
I know. I
Yeah.
do it.
I
I
was
do it.
gonna
I did
say.
it. And I still do it.
Yep. If anybody knows, Dale Bozzio knows. That's for sure. It, yeah.
I love you, Scott. You're
Uh,
so cute.
you are something. Tell me, how do you think the world sees you?
Strange. I think they see me like odd. I think they think that I'm a mixed up, shook up girl.
That's good. I like that. I like that. You're not one of the
Well, I'm
regulars.
not. No,
No.
no, no.
um, what do you like most about yourself? There is in this book, especially chapter 36. Dale is.
Oh,
Uh,
you know what I like about myself. I'm fearless.
it's all there, isn't it? Your likes and
Yeah,
dislikes, your
yeah,
fears, your
yeah,
qualities.
yeah.
Um,
Right. Because the chapter is Dale is. I'm afraid of the dark,
yep.
and I love pasta. I'm pathetic when I cry. Um, I love chocolate. Chocolate's like the answer to life for me.
it, you know, I think the next book's going to be a cookbook, right?
Because I am a really good cook.
I know you are.
Yeah,
I know you are, and
yeah.
that reminds me.
I think my friend Howie Hubble is going to open a restaurant, and I'm going to cook. Yeah.
That's great. I read something when you came to Chicago. Chip's enough. I'm going to have him on the show next week. Actually, he's a good friend of
Oh,
the
Chip's
show.
my boy.
Chip
Yeah,
is
I'm going to play
great.
a bunch of concerts with him. I'm going to play a whole bunch of concerts with him this year. Yeah.
Great, great. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
he's a
Oh, Chip,
local
I love
hero.
Chip. He's like my brother. He's my little brother, really. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
He's my hero. I love him so much.
yeah,
Oh, I'm so glad you're going to talk to him.
yeah,
You're going to
yeah.
tell him how much I said I love him.
I sure will. I sure will. Chip has been on the show. I think this will be his fourth time. We see each other all the
Awesome.
time. We're because I'm in Chicago, and
Yeah, yeah, of
he's
course. Of
still a
course.
local boy. He's just a great guy. But around that time when he was part of
I
Missing
talk about him
Persons.
in my book.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
actually were going to have a little bit of a restaurant kind of thing going, right?
yeah. And
Yeah,
me and him went on this show called "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time,"
right.
and then we lost.
Yeah.
It was a competition, and we lost. It was so sad. Yeah, but I played a lot of shows with Chip, many, many, many shows in the
Yeah.
past, and we're going to play in the future.
Yeah, that's so good to hear. That is fantastic to hear because, yeah, he's got a solo album coming out, and I just saw him perform and photographed him. So yeah, Chip is a great guy, and he's doing well, and it'll be great to see him with you for sure. Um,
Good, good.
um, in chapter 38, should I tell you how I really feel? That might be another personally revealing chapter, and I love the way you write it. It's in like a poetry and or prose, um, but in that chapter you say there's no more chances for me lie ahead. I've asked my maker for too many favors. I don't think I have any left. Um, that hit me very deeply. Um, there is
That's
you
true. That's the truth. That's how I feel.
yeah,
That's
because
true.
yeah, you
I mean,
have
I will ask again, but I don't ask God for things like cars and houses.
yeah.
I walk around the house saying, "Where's my mansion?" But I don't ask God for a mansion. I don't ask him for the 1972 Gullwing Canary Yellow Ferrari that I want.
Right.
Nope, I don't.
No, no.
But I'll take it if he gives it to me. That's how that goes.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I mean, I just feel like falling out the window was enough to ask God to come give me everything back that I lost. And
yeah,
I did. I told him I wanted everything back. I want to be back the way I was before. And he
yeah,
fixed it for me.
yeah,
And he fixed it even better.
yeah.
You see, it was so big and bad and better.
That's
I'm a lucky girl, and that's how I play it.
yeah.
So no matter what happens or
That's
what bad thing might come my way, the horror of the world, Mad Max, right?
yeah,
Night of the
yeah,
Living Dead. I'm
yeah,
okay. I'm
yeah.
okay. I'm
Uh,
just okay. And it's pretty hard to take me down.
hmm.
But I'm sure, when it's my time to go, I'll go. That's what I wrote Destination Unknown about.
Yeah,
Because when I fell 40 feet and had that accident when I was a little kid, I woke up and thought, wow, where do we go from here? Wow, I just felt like I died and came back. Like
yeah,
it was just
yeah,
everything got taken away from me. I mean, I split my head open, broke my floating ribs, my kneecaps. I was really down for the count.
yeah,
And I was addicted to morphine, intravenous morphine. I had to break a serious habit. I was a sad little sack.
yeah.
And, it didn't, nothing worked right.
But
So I just have like, a side shoulder for handicap,
uh,
anything. Just
uh,
like I get it. I get it. And
you,
and the world has like, some people have problems and you can't see them.
yeah,
That's how that goes,
yeah.
And some people you see them limping or maybe they have one arm. You see
Right,
their problem,
right.
but everybody's got a problem.
Yeah,
Believe you me.
yeah.
No one here. No one gets out with no problems.
Right. This is
It
so
doesn't that
true.
doesn't happen.
Yep.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. And
Yeah.
so, however you play your cards, it's all good by me. Driving your Ferrari,
Yep.
living in the mansion, living in the tent,
Right.
however you want to do it. It's all good.
Yeah.
I think just let people be and let them go and live in the park if that's what they want to do. I don't think it should be a problem. I
Yeah.
really don't. I don't
Yeah.
think anything should be a problem on this planet at this age of our existence.
Right.
People should just be fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Jeez, man.
I
Like, take
agree.
a break.
We haven't figured it
Really.
out in, millions of years. It's
Like, yeah. Yeah, if they can't get it together in this century, they ain't getting it together.
it's
All right?
pretty no
So,
doubt.
and old school's all good by me, and just like I just go do my thing and I don't cross unless it's a crosswalk.
Yeah.
I don't do anything against the rules because I am not playing that game. That's like not happening for me.
Yeah.
And I don't even steal soap from the hotels. I don't
Right.
go to hotels anymore, but if I did, I'm just like so over it, and my life is so clean. I don't have to think about it. I don't, it doesn't come into my past.
Yeah.
I'm like so free.
Yeah. That's good.
So I'm good. I mean,
is...
it doesn't matter what happens from one day to the next. You deal with it. That's it.
Right.
And then that's all. And however it's going to be, then that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think we have much control over the planet.
Right.
I just don't.
Right.
As people think we do. I really kind of get a step back there and think that the birds fly in the sky and the flowers grow outside. You can plant some more,
Yeah.
but I don't know about reading stars and such.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I just let it go. I let things go.
Yeah.
Keep it on going, keep it on, write some more music, make some people listen some more, and, whatever. It's all good.
We are thankful. We are thankful for that, too. There is a chapter in the book where you go through lovers of yours, and that is revealing. It's... I would imagine those are the people you might hear from first of all, right? It's fun to read, and you've had yourself a good time, and it was, fairly harmless, and I feel like I should be more like Vince Neil for my wife.
We love Vince, don't we? He's a hero. That's why he's got all those blonde babes.
Yeah. So
that's the powwow. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll call me. I love him. We'll see.
There you go. And Scott Gorham, of course, was the the kind of the darkness in that. Getting pregnant and the one night stand. Not having the baby, that is a regret.
He might be really mad about that,
Okay. Yeah, that was my question for that.
I wonder. That's a bit. Yeah, I forgot about Scott. Yeah, he might be mad.
Yeah,
yeah, he might be because he never talked to me again.
Right.
So it wouldn't make any difference in my life. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But I wanted him to forgive me.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I had to forgive myself, and I just maybe it doesn't really mean anything to him then, though. So too,
Right.
So that's how that goes.
Some of the really great feel-good moments in the book for me, when you talk about Venice and Warren's father, Pops, and the bracelet, that was just...
I loved him so much.
And it was obvious. It was really obvious. It felt so... You just sounded so happy about telling that story. Your friendship with Benjamin Orr, of course, of the Cars. A great relationship, one that never crossed the line. Just talking and being friends, and it seemed to make you so happy. These were moments.
He was so sweet.
Yeah.
And kind, and he listened to me, and he would like pat me on the head. Yeah. He was a funny old fella, like he had like an old soul about him. He was so kind, and my mother would come out and bring us food, and you want a tea, Ben?
Yeah.
And it's just so cool, and he'd just sit on the steps with me, like my buddy, and he was just unbelievable. Yeah, he was just. I miss him a lot.
Yeah,
I miss him a lot, and it's sad. It's sad that these incredible people just
Yeah,
They
and
come and go, so quickly here.
yeah, and and I'm reading this, and like I say, that was just that friendship. Just I could see you two on the porch, just talking and being friends, and you loving each other like that. It was really it was just beautiful. And I think about all these people that you mentioned, and so many are no longer with us. And it made me so thankful to have you here. It really, it's really
Thank you, and thank you for noticing. And yeah, thank you so much. And
yeah,
I care so much, about my friends,
yeah, yeah,
and I care about you, and I thank you, and it's all good, it's all good. Music lasts forever, so it's okay,
yeah,
come or go as we please and as we will. It's all good, it's
yeah,
all right.
yeah,
And I made it so far. I
yeah,
made it through okay,
yep,
and I'm so grateful. I'm very, very grateful, and I'm a lucky girl. So, don't feel bad for me. It's
no,
okay,
yeah,
it's okay, and I want everyone to know that, and my friends, it's okay.
yeah,
The things that I jump through the hoops of fire, it's okay.
uh,
It's all right. It was all for a reason. You
yep,
know,
yep,
it's how I got here.
yep. And
And
we're,
I'll make a movie, and I'm gonna make a soundtrack, and I'm gonna play
yeah,
piano myself, and I'm gonna make something else, like a nice new pie that I'm
that's
really
awesome.
anxious to do. And I think I hope in life that people will just make pies and cook and pasta and do things that make you happy,
Yep,
and it will make someone else happy,
yeah,
and it just grows and grows and grows, and we gotta more go on the street and parade for peace and happiness.
yeah,
Like Ringo, like he says. I was
yeah.
thinking we were on this tattoo show last night. Now I'll let you go because I know I'm talking my head off. But
No, no, no,
I was
please.
watching this tattoo show, and they said, what would be the one thing you would tattoo on your forehead?
Yeah, that's a
And I thought, wow, what would I tattoo on my forehead? I
yeah,
used to say missing persons, but you know what?
right,
That's too fucking elusive.
yeah,
I'm gonna put, I'm gonna put a peace sign, not
mm,
even a word, a fucking
yeah.
peace sign,
That's
like
beautiful.
hello,
Yeah,
hello,
yeah,
what are we fighting for? Says Marianne Faithfull,
yeah, yeah.
one of
No,
the greatest songs she ever sang.
yeah, yeah.
Yep,
It's
yep.
yeah.
So
That is an interesting to
we got to do
thing.
the right thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to do
yeah.
the right thing, and we got to turn the lights on, and we got to stop arguing for nonsensical bullshit
Yeah,
and make things right.
yeah,
Enough of this baloney. You have to be stern and firm and kind.
yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
right? Wow.
We need
Okay,
more
no more
kindness.
friction. Yeah, yeah. No more magic. No more bombs and crashing and banging and killing people.
Yeah,
What are we doing that for? Like, oh, I'm not happy about that.
no,
But anyway, if you
no.
want, tell your listeners and your friends they can come to Facebook/.com. I mean, Facebook.com/Dale Bozzio.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm there with my all the information. You can order the books from me. I autograph them to
Yeah,
you or your mother. And I
yeah.
have records and 8x10s, all the stuff that all the rock stars do. I did have it there.
It's incredible. It's fantastic. All those links will be below this interview, and Dale, you
Oh,
come.
and DaleBozzio.today. Don't forget to put that.
Yes, yes. You got
We're
two ways
getting
of getting
we're
there.
getting so modern. We're so modern,
It's
aren't we?
no
Right?
doubt. And it looks great too. It's a beautiful site. It's really easy to navigate and get that book. And like I say, it is just an incredible package. Just a gorgeous book to have. What you coming to see me, Dale, in Chicago here?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Ah, that's fantastic.
I don't know exactly when, but I'll be there. All right.
That is
And you
great.
come and get me. Okay. And you'll be
Absolutely.
with Chippy. We'll be with Chip.
Yeah, yeah,
Chip will
yeah.
be with you.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah,
be
yeah.
so cool.
Party.
You know,
Party in the back room.
all right. Very cool. Um,
I love you
yeah,
so much, Scott.
you
You're
know,
so entertaining. You're a wonderful fella, and you made my day. I love you so much.
I love you too. And, I wanted to leave you with that. In your book, you write, I love you is the most important thing you can say. And, Dale, I love you so much. You have done so much for
Thank
my
you.
life. It was so much fun to talk to you. Such an honor, something I'll never forget in my life. Really, I cannot wait to see you when you get here. Please be happy and healthy and take care of yourself. And so many blessings to you. Love you so much.
Oh, Scott, you made me cry now. You're
Oh,
such a beautiful, beautiful fella. I love you. And
yeah,
I'll see you soon. And for sure, we're going to meet up, right?
absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
I will be in
Okay.
contact with you when you get here. So, okay?
Okay. I love you.
I
I
love you.
love you.
Love you.
Okay.
Okay, take care.
Okay. Okay.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
Bye.